Welcome to The Approach Shot, the golf show that's more laughs than links, more stories than strokes, more guffaws than golfers. Here are the hosts of The Approach Shot, John Ashton and Neil Michaels.
Once again, it is time for us. The Approach Shot. I'm John Ashton.
I am Neil Michaels. Welcome.
And we got to get this over with, Neil, because we got a little horse race happening here in about a week. And there's a lot of preparation one needs to do for the Kentucky Derby. Yes. I haven't been drinking enough. Got to get back into shape, man.
You got to get your system back used to it.
Right, yes.
That is training. That's outstanding. I thought you were going to say you were going to go through your wife's stuff and see if you could find an appropriate hat.
First off, the number one selling T-shirt in the town of Louisville, Kentucky this week is work. It's Derby week.
Okay.
This has been a 2-week party. Okay. It started a week ago with the largest fireworks display in the world.
Is that right?
Choreographed by Disney. Yeah, it's 30 minutes long. It was terrific.
Wow.
And that kicks off a 2-week party known as the Kentucky Derby Festival. Okay. And there's all kinds of funny little things that happen every day. They have bed races and all of the cocktail waitresses in town get together and they do a race. They call it the Run for the Rosé because, the race is the Run for the Roses. So this is the Run for the Rosé. And you just put like four glasses of rosé on a tray, hold it with one hand and walk a circuit. And the winner is not only the one with the fastest time, but the one with the most wine left in the glasses.
There you go. I would think that would have a lot to do with it. Yeah. I'm blown away by the fact that, pardon the pun, that this is the largest fireworks display. I would have thought that would have been in Washington, D.C. on July 4th. No?
Yeah. Nope.
Go, Louisville.
Yeah. I mean, they've been doing it. It's called Thunder over Louisville. They preceded with an air show. I mean, it's just a great day. And because last year was canceled totally and this year it was cut back substantially. But on an average year, you get a picture. There's about 850,000 people lining both sides of the Ohio River.
Wow.
To watch this. Yeah.
What a great party.
Oh, it is, man. It's got to be. Everybody I talk to goes, well, it's on my bucket list. You got to come.
If I have been invited, I will do that next year. Something more than 3 days notice would be great.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't inviting you, man. I was just telling you have to be here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I mistook that for an invitation. So the question is, I know that you are a bourbon drinker being from there, but do you dabble in mint juleps?
No.
No. Headache? Too sweet?
Too sweet. A guy named Henry Watterson, who was a newspaper guy back in town here in the early 1900s, said that the best recipe he had ever had for a mint julep was to take all of the simple syrup and the mint and the ice ingredients and mix them together, take a couple ounces of bourbon and pour it in a frosted silver cup, throw all the other ingredients away and drink the bourbon.
Yeah, that does sound more perfect. That's a lot more John Ashton.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun party, man. And when I was doing the morning show here, we did live mornings for an entire week from the backside of Churchill Downs where the barns are and all the horses, all the contenders were there and the trainers. And, you just get immersed in the whole life. I mean, that's what this town is. That's the reputation that this town has. When I first moved here, they told me it is the land of fast women and beautiful horses. My first year was the year that Genuine Risk won, the first time a filly had won the Derby in 1980. And there was a horse running in the Derby that year named Degenerate John. And I thought that was a sign from God. He came in fourth.
I lived in Baltimore in the Baltimore area for a good part of my adult life.
Preakness.
And while the Preakness is an event, it doesn't sound anywhere near what you have.
Baltimore's got other stuff. Louisville's got the Derby. Period.
Might as well perfect.
That's right.
Well, speaking of great parties, we've got a comedian golfer who is one of the funniest people that I've ever heard and plays a darn good round of golf, too, on the show today.
He does. We're going to apologize up front. His name is Cory Michaelis. We've mispronounced it many a time, so don't hate us.
But if you listen to the entire interview, you'll hear at the very, very end, that's when he corrects. So it's not really on us.
That's right.
Or at least that's what we're going to go with.
So if you want to be really entertained, just hang out and listen for the next 45 minutes.
You'll laugh, you'll hear some stuff about golf, and then you'll laugh some more.
It's The Approach Shot. We'll be right back with Cory Michaelis. Don't you move. Smart Money says 2021 is going to be better than 2020. Expansions, things loosening up, all means it is probably a good opportunity for you to think about hiring some more folks and bringing them in and expanding your team. And if you're doing that, I want to give you 2 words. Actually, it's one hyphenated word, LinkedIn. You already know LinkedIn. You're already on it. You already use it for networking. Why don't you use it to find the right people to expand your team? 722 million members worldwide are on LinkedIn right now. New features help you find qualified candidates quickly. Put up targeted screening questions, and LinkedIn will quickly get your role in front of more qualified candidates. That's important. You don't have enough time to sift that out. Let LinkedIn sift all the ones that aren't right. When your business is ready to make that next hire, find the right person with LinkedIn Jobs. And now you can post a job for free. Just visit linkedin.com/approachshot. Again, linkedin.com/approachshot to post a job for free. Terms and conditions apply. I want to thank you for hanging out, coming back. This is The Approach Shot. I am John Ashton. He is Neil Michaelis. And Neil, what's going on, man?
Well, today we have with us a comedian that I have to go out of my way to say is one of my absolute favorites. Before we came on, I mentioned to him that I've been listening to his dry bar comedy over and over and over again. You know, the wife and I had a tiff this morning. Let's listen to Cory Michaelis. let's do it again. Hey, this is awesome. So Cory Michaelis, who is part of dry bar comedy. Also, you've been known to pick up a golf club or two. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. That's since I was about 12. Took some lessons when I was 12 and haven't put it down except for when I got the shanks my senior year of high school. Am I allowed to say that word? That's a curse word, I think.
I think we're okay because it's a golf curse word.
Yeah, 5-letter word.
No one knows.
I hear people say it all the time.
Shank off. Senior year of high school was a little rough because I started out like I qualified first on my team and was very excited about the season, and then just the yips. And high school coaches, I ended up coaching the high school team eventually too. You know, I don't know how. We're just jumping right in. Is this fine? Okay. Yeah. Anyway, and taking over. The high school coaches just kind of drive the van. Like they don't, because they're just like a math teacher, you know. He's a decent player, but he didn't have anything he was like, I don't know. You're shanking the ball. I don't know what to tell you. And in hindsight, I wish like it wasn't that hard of a fix, but I just didn't know any better. Yeah. So yep,
should we be concerned about your coach, who is a teacher driving a van? Isn't usually the next thing something about candy?
White windowless van. No, there was windows, so I think we were fine. And then he, you know, people that are hurt other people, right? So then I started doing it when I became a teacher. So maybe there is something here. I don't know.
Yeah, we have I do a second podcast, and the co-host there is the #1 golf instructor in the state of Indiana. We were doing a live remote from another golf course, and there was the high school golf coach of the town we were in there, and he heard my co-host who was doing it remotely, and he said, "Is that Jeff Smith from Columbus?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Damn it, that's the reason why we never win the state championship. It's him." He doesn't coach the high school team, but the coach of the high school team sends all his kids to Jeff.
Yeah, that's the way to go, right? Yeah. Like, but we didn't have that money, so we just maybe Jeff volunteers his time. But
they do a golf scramble once a year to raise money, and Jeff keeps like half of it.
So, there you go. Yeah. That's smart. Maybe if I go back into coaching, I'll go that route. That's brilliant.
So when you were in high school, Cory, did people like make fun of you for playing golf instead of being an athlete?
Well, I was an athlete. I was just tiny, so small. Like I loved football, right? But I had to play tennis because I still wore the helmet, you know, just in case. Like, I was just this tiny little kid, and I won most improved in tennis 2 years in a row, and I was still on junior varsity. So I don't think that's good, right? No. Like, how bad was I as a freshman in high school that by my junior year, they're like, he was the most improved twice in a row. I mean, he still doesn't take the helmet off, and he can't get it over the net, but he's very improved. So, yeah, not really make fun of, I don't think, but definitely there was not the glory of the baseball team in the spring or the football team in the fall. It was just sort of, this is tennis. And when in high school, if you were the captain of the team, you got to walk the homecoming court. in the assembly. And then the year I became a senior, my best friend was he was okay guy. He was kind of a nerd. He was the golf captain. And he was so excited. He's like, oh man, which hot girl am I going to walk down? And that year they switched it to having a homecoming court for the men as well. And so he was out. And he was like, this is the only reason I play golf. It's the only reason.
This close.
And,
this close.
Waited 4 years for this.
And it's neither one of us was on the 10 boy homecoming court. It's not a secret. I don't think that the golfers weren't making it on that. But
the golf team doesn't get the popularity votes, man.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, they win like the state championship. But then who knows that they do?
Even then, you just got to be real hot. That wasn't the case.
So how good was the team? How good was your high school team?
Nah, we weren't great. We would our best player would shoot high 70s and our worst player would shoot high 80s, and you'd throw that high score out, and so we were in. I had one team for me when I ended up coaching that, because you'd usually play 9 holes in like weekday matches that were just like interleague. And so I could get 5 kids to break 40 once in a while. And so that 200 number was the number you're shooting for, to try and get under 200. Yeah. But we had a team, they had like kids who went pro. Like there was just no chance for us to ever really compete.
So you get some people who are just too serious about it.
Yeah, well, and it worked, I assume they had good lives. I don't know. Maybe they're very hurt people right now, but
part of the golf jail team.
Yeah, exactly.
So you coached golf, and then you taught, and now you're a comedian. So that's a path that obviously had some twists and turns.
It did. So I started teaching basically right out of college. I went to conservative Christian college, and actually, I had to sign a contract that said I wouldn't have sex, do drugs, or drink alcohol in college. And I just was honestly pretty flattered they thought people were offering me those things. I didn't have to say no is my point, right? It wasn't like I was walking around campus like, yeah, we could do it, but this contract has me hamstrung. And you know how my word is my bond, so... no, I would have loved to have been able to say no, but it was never offered. So in high school, I met my eventual wife, and we were very straight edge kind of kids. Didn't drink till we were 21. Didn't sleep together till our wedding night. And it turns out that's not great. You're kind of supposed to like to do that with each other. And so about 10 years after being married, we high-fived and moved on, and she's a great friend, and her family's close and all that good stuff. We didn't have any kids. And so this whole time I'm teaching. I'm teaching high school this whole time and coaching some basketball and some tennis and some golf. And I tried comedy once with a buddy of mine. We took a comedy workshop. He and I thought we were funny in the classroom. We wanted to try it. We tried it once, kind of thought, all right, well, there we go. We did it, And then I just kind of kept doing it and sort of picked up a little bit more gigs here and there as a hobby, made a few bucks here and there. Started a show in my hometown at like a really nice bistro that we would do once a month and get like 100 people out on a Sunday night. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And I auditioned for the local comedy competition every year and didn't get in, and then finally got in. And anyway, we split up, and I figured, you know what, I better give it a shot full time. And what they allow you to do in some school districts is take a year leave of absence and try something. A lot of people will do is they teach overseas or they travel or whatever. I was like, I'm going to talk about my penis. How about that? Does that count? On stage in front of people. Is that cool? And they were like, I guess.
Yeah, sure. What go
I said, like, I'm going to do some public speaking. I'm going to try that. They knew I did comedy. It wasn't like a secret, but I did some assemblies for some schools and stuff like that, because I thought maybe that would be like a good marriage, comedy plus that. And it would be, but comedy just takes up so much time, and I enjoy it so much more that I just did comedy. After a year, they call you. They go, hey, you want to come back? And I was like, probably not. Out of curiosity, what would I... Because you don't get your exact job. You get a job in the district. Mm-hmm. And I was a high school history teacher. And so they said, hey, I was like, what would I be teaching? They said, middle school. And I was like, you can stop right there. I will not be coming back. So here we are. I substitute taught the last few years, but not this last year during lockdown stuff. Kids were remote in our district. And there was opportunities